Hello everyone, my name is Greg. Welcome back to You Got Nerfed, and this is a video review of the Adventure Force, Aeon Pro X, a spring-powered magazine-fed blaster by Adventure Force that shoots exclusively half-length darts, and this is another high-powered beast of a blaster. Let's get into the review. We'll start out with an external overview. Starting up at the front, there's no end-strike barrel lug, but it does come with the signature P-car barrel that we've seen like 5 million times. This is supposed to enhance accuracy as well, sometimes sacrificing velocity for that, but really good attachment with this. You can put this onto like your Max Striker 2.0, into your X-Shot, Long Shot, etc. with that, but it is just simply a screw-in barrel like that, but you can use the barrel without that as well. Getting up to the top is a Dart Zone style rail. With the attachment that is super tight on there, but is a little sight attachment on here. Might help you aim a little bit, but if you don't want that on there, you can just simply slide that off. But your Nerf attachments will not fit on here. There's another rail down here at the bottom, and more rails on the side here that seem more like Picatinny rails than Dart Zone rails, but rails are cool, bro, which no matter what type they are on there. So railception all on the front of the blaster here. Getting up front, this big entire black chunk is the priming handle. To prime, you do that, and you push forward, and you're ready to fire once. This blaster is spring powered. The prime weight is significantly harder than anything Nerf related on the market right now, as than like a standard elite blaster. It requires a good amount of strength to pull back. Some people might not struggle with this. I'm a small dude with small hands and quite honestly not that much muscle mass, and this is quite a beast to prime back. I struggle priming this thing back. That's just me. But nice comfortable prime handle as well. With that, the action is actually pretty darn smooth. With it, getting back to the back is an end strike attachment point. This is actually an end strike attachment point on there, but some stocks may work, some may not, but they are compatible with end strike stocks as well. You can also put on like the one for the Maxim Pro and stuff. You can put on that stock on there as well. In there, but getting down to the grip is actually very comfortable proportionate to the blaster. I had small hands, and this grip grips my hand pretty darn well. So that is the grip, nothing else really to point over to that. Getting down to the trigger system, trigger pull is very smooth for high power blaster like this. This blaster does have slam fire, so whenever you hold down the trigger, you can rack the slide, and whenever it reaches the forward position, it will automatically fire. I will note that slam fire on this blaster is super slow for me, because that hard prime trying to do slam fire, I find it very difficult to do. Like that, it legitimately gave me a workout trying to do slam fire with this blaster. Located on the left or right side is the standard trigger lock system, right? If you push in the S part of the lever, your trigger is on safe, and then you can press an F all the way into that one, and you're ready to fire. Standard trigger lock. Getting down to the bottom is the magazine release. They have one of those middle finger firing trigger magazine releases, just like that you can use with it. So and both magazine releases are ambidextrous and center line, so it works very well. So you can extend your middle finger, or you can use the little flappy pad on here and use your offhand thumb to take out the mag, just like that. Both devices work very, very well. So great props to Adventure Force for doing that, right? Getting down to the mag well and the mag release, you do not have to prime back the blaster to insert the magazine and have it work in well, which is good. Insertion is very smooth in there, and it's a very good mag well. It's the magazine that came with it is a 12 round, almost Dart Zone style magazine, but quite honestly, the forward spring and stuff feels a little bit better than what was in some of the Dart Zone magazines, but it is of like the same format and stuff as some of the Dart Zone mags, but they are cross compatible with Dart Zone mags and worker Talon mags, except for the angled Talon mags. So if you get like those 18 round curve mags, those type of stuff, and the 15 round straight mags, those will work in here as well. But it only takes short darts as well. But magazine extension works really well. That's everything that I have to go over with the Aeon Pro X. Let's see it out on the range. Alright, I'm starting out with the included magazine and the included Avenger Force Ember darts. Oh, helps if I take it off of safe. Slam fire. Oh, I ran out. Extend 15 round magazine with Dart Zone bamboo nitro shot darts. We'll start off with slam fire since that one did horribly. And lastly, a 18 round worker magazine with Nerf Pro AccuStrike darts. And one more shot. Dude, Nerf Pro darts are like the short dart version of Elite darts. Holy crap, those sucked. Firing analysis and conclusion of the Aeon Pro X. The blaster fired very well. There were some hiccups that I had while doing slam fire. Honestly, that might be because I'm just not used to doing slam fire on high-powered blasters, at least with the top prime system. Because I had a lot of times where slam fire didn't work. It would seize up, and then the next shot, it would shoot two at once instead of actually doing slam fire. It has the same issues with like the Striker 2.0 and the long shot as far as slam fire goes. It needs to be a slower slam fire if you're going to do it. You can't just keep running it super hard with that. But slam fire works decently well with this blaster. Definitely not unusable, but unless if there's something I'm doing wrong, I don't think that it's personally as effective as what it could be, or as refined as what Slamfire could be. But fired fairly well out of that. So the projectiles that I threw here were not the greatest. Getting into the chrono data readings, the Avenger Force Ember darts, I got about 140, 145 feet per second. With the Dart Zone Nitro Shot or Bamboo style darts, I got 150 FPS out of it using this barrel with it. I unfortunately did not test without the barrel, but 150 FPS and the Nerf Pro AccuStrike darts were not consistent enough for me to get a proper reading out of it. Those darts suck. I probably shouldn't have done those through it. There was like some where it's like 90 FPS. There were some that just didn't register on that one. That's just a bad projectile to put through this blaster, regardless of that. So the blaster fires very well. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this blaster. It's one for a Springer high power blaster. It is one of my favorites, but there are some inherent issues with it, but also some gripes personally. Inherent issues with it, like right here, flimsy plastic. The plastic quality on this blaster is not tip-top shape, and for something like Dart Sun, I thought I would expect something like that with it. And yeah, it's just not tip-top shape plastic. Plastic quality is kind of low, but I mean, it still functions pretty well with it, but it's still something significant to note. The thing that this is more of a subjective thing with it. I find this blaster super hard to prime for me. My muscle strength, like regardless, a lot of you are going to laugh at this, but like my muscle strength is below average for most people. From what most people would consider average, my hand strength is not that great at all. So I got absolutely worn out trying to prime this blaster, especially with Slamfire. Slamfire took up all my energy. I'm doing this segment out of breath, basically. Yeah, but with those things aside, it still works really well. It's just for me personally, I would still love to use this blaster due to its like accuracy and just overall simplicity with it, but there's also a part of me that would rather prefer a Striker 2.01 because of the higher velocity out of that thing than this blaster, but also just it doesn't take as much strength to prime that thing than this thing. This thing takes a lot to prime, at least in my opinion, from it. Like I said, I have weaker hands with that. A lot of you are going to laugh at that, but it's true. Yes. So I struggle with a lot of high-powered blasters trying to prime back a spring like that. That, to me, that hurts a little bit. But nothing physically wrong with that. No weird jams or malfunctions that were just inherent with the blaster. I believe all of these were mechanical error that I had. So that's everything that I have to go over with the Aeon Pro X. I think that it's a really solid choice if you're into competitive or high-power Nerf blasters. I definitely look into getting this. Go to Walmart, try picking up this blaster with it. It's a solid. It takes magazines with it. It's a decent price for like, what was it, $34-$40 with it. It was somewhere in like the 30s 40 range. Not bad for this blaster. You're actually getting something really good out of it, and it's definitely an improvement over the regular Aeon Pro a little bit, but that blaster was still pretty good in of itself. So let me know what you guys think of the Aeon Pro in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.